If you've written a choral piece, or even if you're thinking about writing one, then presumably you want to get it performed. And it might be easier said than done. So I thought I would give you a few pointers here just to suggest ways that you might move along with that process. One of the easiest ways is to just get a ready-made choir, ready-made group to perform it in one of their concerts or one of their services if it's a religious piece. And the great thing about certainly this country, the UK, is that there are plenty of local choirs almost wherever you are. Places to think about are churches, local churches. Quite a few have their own choirs. Local youth groups, youth choirs, or even if you're near a university town, they normally have at least one, but normally several choirs. And the thing at this stage is to ask them whether they would like to perform the world premiere of your new piece. This is a great thing for choirs. They love being the first choir to sing a piece. And imagine if your work goes on to become known the world over and is performed for hundreds of years to come. They will always have that honour of being the first group to perform that piece. If you can't find a local choir, or you've tried all the local choirs and they just can't fit it into their programming, you can put on your own performance. Now, I don't say this lightly because this is quite a big process. It does mean you have more control, but at the same time, it is tricky to do. So maybe there are a few things to think about how you go about doing that. First of all, you still need singers. So you still need to have those contacts with most probably local people who can sing, who would be interested in singing your piece. You also need to think about venue. Normally, if you hire a venue for a concert, then you have to pay for that venue, I'm afraid to say. Now, of course, you might be able to do it locally, and that's fine. Do be aware that if you have a public concert, a concert where you sell tickets and members of the public can come along, that venue does have to have a music license for performance. If you are performing your piece in a concert, then presumably you've got to have other works around it. You've got to have a programme. Programming can be tricky, and you've got to remember that you're limited by the number of singers you have and the ensemble, how many sopranos, altos, tenors, basses you have. So you've got to pick a programme that uses those forces. Talking of programmes, you've got to think about your physical programme. Do you want a printed booklet about the concert? This can be anything. I say a booklet, it can literally be a single sheet of paper with the pieces on it and the people who are singing, or the date. Very simple information, anything up to a massive booklet which has biographies. It could have the composers' biographies, descriptions of their pieces, all the text from the pieces, lots of information. You can really put in as much as you like. It obviously seems a shame if you are going to put on a concert to perform your piece not to record it. And these days, we all know with our phones and with simple to buy microphones that it's actually quite easy to film and record music in quite good quality. So it doesn't need to be an incredible setup. You can use your iPhone with a bought microphone. What you should be aware of is that you have to get the performer's permission, and you have to tell them you're planning to record or film the performance. You should be aware with professional singers that you can use up to 3 minutes of repertoire and no whole pieces. That's fine. If you use a whole piece, for example, your piece, or longer than 3 minutes, they can demand to be paid. Now, I'm sure if you have a conversation with them and say that's not possible, I'm sure they'll be happy with it. But it's just a politeness to talk to people and show them that you respect the fact that you are recording them and you are filming them and the skills they bring to make your piece as good as it is. On the day, you're going to have to think about things like music stands. If it's a public concert, you're going to have to think about ticketing. Be slightly aware of the numbers that you're expecting so that you have the right number of chairs. Maybe the singers want music stands. The singers are most probably going to want a room to change in. There's a lot of things, and they're fairly obvious once you start thinking them through. But just in your mind, start at the beginning of the concert and go through and think what you might need. Lastly, thank yous. Thank yous are so important. So many people will help you along your way if you are putting on a concert. Obviously the performers, the singers, I'm sure family and friends will help. Anybody who helps with publicity, people, your initial contacts for getting in touch with people, make sure you thank them. It doesn't have to be the day of the concert, but maybe send out individual emails to people after the day, because if it was a success and you enjoyed it, you're most probably going to want to do it again, and you're most probably going to want to use the same people. So make sure they know how much you appreciated it. Anyway, it's a lot of information. I'm sorry about that, but good luck with it, because it is worth doing.